Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to VSL F1 Season 6. This is round number 8, and we head to one of the new tracks on the calendar. It's the circuit Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix, first opened in 1948. But it was 35 years ago that we saw the great Niki Lauda took his 25th and final Grand Prix victory here at Zandvoort. It was originally meant to be here back last year in 2020, but due to the whole COVID restrictions, we weren't able to have a real-life Grand Prix. But this year, luckily, we're going to, which is absolutely fantastic. And I hope you're all excited for the action we've got today. So let's have a look at the track map quickly. So the track map is 4.259 kilometers long, and it has 14 turns, 4 to the left and 10 to the right. Clockwise circuit, and there's quite a few DRS zones, 2 detection points for the drivers today. Not much spaces to overtake, but I'm sure the drivers are going to get plenty of action nonetheless. 3 compound tyres for today's race: the C3s, which are the softs, mediums, which are the C2s, and the hards, which is the C1s. Now we're going to quickly go through the driver standings before we head to one-shot qualifying. So it was Mata that is leading the way with 135 points. Second is Cole with 118. Third is Pete with 94. Fourth is Brandon with 73. Fifth is Branko with 67, but he's not in the league anymore. Sixth is Red Matt with 54. Seventh is Ryan Berry with 52. Eighth is Iceman with 48. Ninth is Jaylee with 45. Acorn is 10th with 33. M. Ryan is in 11th with 31. 12th is Ahmed with 28. 13th is Risky with 26. 14th is Niels with 20. 15th is Yuri on 19. 16th is Newgarden on 19 as well. Lee is 17th on 18 points. 18th is Logan on 9. We got Kev on 8. Brad on 1. And Davo yet to score, but I don't think he's going to be in the league, unfortunately. So we've got quite a few things to go through in a second. But before we do that, let's look at the constructors. Yellow's on 261 points in first place, leading the way by quite some margin at the moment. Second is VSL Blue with 188. Third is Green with 177. Fourth is Pink with 166. And fifth is Red with 107. So we got we've got quite a few drivers in today. So we've got Tony that is going to be in the green team for the rest of the season. Blue Fox, Callum is going to be in the yellow team tonight. And Dark Shadow was meant to join tonight, but he would be in the blue car. So without further ado, let's head to the qualifying session. I didn't get enough time to show everyone what I was going to go through, so I'll have to do that in qualifying, but that's all right. So I did Ryan Berry the other day, so let's go on board with one of our... let's go on board with one of our Dutch drivers, Yuri, who's just gone past this tricky section here. Now, he loves this track. This is one of the tracks where he's really good on in this game. And knowing me, I've probably jinxed him now. So I do apologise if I've done that in the chat. But anyway, he's already purple in sector 1, looking quite good at the moment. Now heading towards, just passing to turn 9 and heading towards turn 10. Very quick, pretty insane, old school were the words heading into here now. And you're heading towards the DRS zone. Plenty of overtaking support here when you go to the right hand side. And you're going to be passing near the Audi section coming up here. Minimised traction here. Really aggressive here heading into the right. Drift down into second a little bit. Going into fourth gear here. That's where you go on the power early on. Go tight to the right hand side and open the DRS to complete the lap. And what lap's going to be? It's not quite pole position, but it's third place for Yuri. Quite a few disqualifications, but I was kind of expecting it around here in Zandvoort. But anyway, here are your results then for qualifying. So it's Red Matt who is on pole position with Pete in second. Yuri in third. Carl in fourth position. Acorn in fifth. Brandon in sixth position. Ahmed in seventh. Mata in eighth. Kev in ninth position. And Tony, one of our new drivers, in 10th. Blue Fox getting a lap in on the board in 11th. Ryan Berry in 12th. Newgarden in 13th with Risky, M. Ryan and Niels not being able to set a lap, unfortunately. So that's a bit of a shame, but there we go. But anyway, our free stoppers, what you on about? Our two stopper strategies today is Kyle, Mata and Ahmed. Kyle managed to pull off a fantastic victory last week. He didn't have good form like in the last 2 races before that, but he really definitely showed his redemption last week, and it was great to see he was very, very comfortable up there. Will he be able to continue his form this week? We'll have to wait and see there. A few more facts about the track as well. And Alberto Ascari actually took the first win in Formula 1 back in 1952. He led home a 1-2-3 for Ferrari, and Formula 1 will go on to race on and off the track until 1985. And lots of other racing series take place here as well, and you can also race it in other games as well, one of which being ACC, which a lot of people know about. I do believe you can race it on ACC on the PlayStation as well. Now, the circuit is situated in the west of Amsterdam, and for those of you that don't know, Netherlands means lower countries in reference to its low elevation and flat topography. And I did not know that, so that's pretty good. So, we're looking at the deltas for the laps today. So, 1.1 seconds is the difference between the softs and the mediums. And between the softs and the hards, 2.3 seconds. So, ideally, looking at the strategy today for people on the one stop, soft to hards, because there's no way you can make the soft to mediums work. It's just, it doesn't last very long around here. So, definitely soft to hard. But if there's a safety car, maybe soft to mediums, but we'll see. The crossover point we'll talk a little bit more about in a second. But yeah, between, I would say, lap 11 to, I would say, 13 is the pit window for the hard compounded tyres. And the pit loss around here is around about 16 seconds. And a few action zones here tonight. We got turn 1, turn 4 and turn 12. Now, I'm going to talk about turn 1 actually. And turn 1 is actually called the Tarzan, which, don't ask me why it's called the Tarzan. It just is. I was not the one that named the track, okay? But anyway, we're just about to get started very, very shortly. Let us know your predictions in the chat on who you think is going to be winning the race tonight. Can it be our home favourite, or could it be Kyle that takes his second win in 2 races? We'll have to wait and see as the race goes on. Weather-wise at the moment, looking quite cloudy at the moment, but you never know with Cody's. The weather could change things massively here. As I take a little bit of a sip of my drink, so I have a feeling we're going to have some good action as well. Tends to be quiet towards the middle of the race. They sort to get a bit of a rhythm a little bit, but I have a feeling, since quite a few people on the 2-stop, we could see a little bit more aggressive strategies and probably more people pushing earlier on as well, which is what we like to see in VSL, of course. So that is amazing. So all the drivers are starting to ready up now. And like I said, it'll be interesting to see how Tony and Blue Fox do. Haven't seen them league race, either as a commentator or a racer. So it's going to be my very first time commentating on them. So I wish them the best of luck. And we are about to get going then. Very, very exciting. Now we're going to look at the tyres of people outside the top 10. So let's have a look then. So let me just actually not enable that. There we go. So we have got, obviously, Mata and Kep. They qualified on the medium compounded tyres. Obviously, Mata being one of the drivers on the 2-stop this week. But the ones outside the top 10, they get free choice. So we've got Blue Fox on the softs, Newgarden on the softs, Risky on the softs, and then Ryan on the softs. We've got Ryan Berry on the mediums and Niels on the hards. So Niels definitely going for the alternate strategy here today, as a few people been disqualified from the session already. Now it's quite hard to cut the pit lane around here, so I don't think we'll see much pit lane warnings here today, but they have been warned anyway. Now, I'm going to get my predictions in. I don't usually get my predictions in, but this guy has not got a win yet. Could this be the night where he gets it? Carl's in 4th place as well. Don't rule him out, but he's on the 2-stop. But you never know All it could take is a safety car to change absolutely everything. And that's what happened in the last few races, actually. The safety car brought the guys on the two-stop back in it. So all the drivers warming up their tyres now. 36 laps are ahead of the drivers. And with people on a variety of different strategies, this could be interesting. Who's going to come out on top today? Who's going to get the podium? We're pretty much almost at the halfway. We are pretty much at the halfway point after tonight. After this round, we'll have 8 more rounds of this championship to go. And we'll see the championship contenders really start to emerge here. So who is going to do well? We'll have to find out. So here we go then. The 5 red lights are coming on your screens right now. Red Matt is on the right. Pete on the left. 5 red lights. And it is go, go, go. Pretty decent start from Red Matt compared to Pete, but they all go away cleanly at the moment. And we got a good start from the other pink car heading towards turn 1. Carl's dropped down a little bit as well. A few people taking it cautious into the first turn because it's really, really hard to get compromised here if you don't. But anyway, as we can see, we got quite a few people have dropped massively at the moment. We've got Niels up into 6th place already. But unfortunately, I think we are getting the timing glitch. That is probably why you can't see much happening at the moment. It's a shame you can see that. But here's Red Matt that still leads. Pete in 2nd. Yuri in 3rd. Carl still in 4th position. Akon doing fantastic in 5th place. But we've got one of the blue cars being pressured at the moment. I'm not sure which one it is. I'm trying to have a look very, very closely. But you can see Risky trying to dive around the inside of Blue Fox. Couldn't quite make it stick at this stage. And we are now about to approach the 2nd lap. And knowing the game as well, it's definitely going to tell me that we're going to be on lap 3, but we're not. So Red Matt's already pulled off the 1 second margin. I did say he was going to be one of the favourites today, and he's not disappointing so far. And you can see Carl's already made up quite a bit as well. So we've got, I think, Carl up to 3rd now. And Amid's had a good start as well. Amid is in 5th position. And DRS won't be enabled until the next lap. Tony having a good start as well. Pressurising M. Ryan now. As we head towards... I can't even name these corners, but as we head towards turn 8 and 9 now. Very, very windy, and what I like to call understeery central as they hook in the car. A bit of a move potentially for Akon as well. We've got Carl as well trying to pressurise Yuri. Carl looking very, very good on exit as they head towards the final corner. And as they approach turn 14 now, loving that banking that this track has. One of my favourite parts of the track. As Yuri trying to get rid of the slipstream from Kyle. DRS will be activated very, very soon with a detection point. And that is where we can start to see the real overtaking start to happen. Quite a few people already using their ERS, so I'm a bit worried about them because it's going to run out completely quickly. Not much places where you can recharge your ERS around here, I've noticed. Learned that from my team. Don't forget, these drivers are all using multiplayer cars. They did do one-shot qualifying. They only had a chance to do 1 lap. And that was it. That is one advantage we have in this league. And the liveries indicate the colours. Apart from Risky today, who forgot to change it from his career mode colours. So he needs... so that is why Risky's usually in blue, which he is. But yeah. Anyway. Carl is on attempt 2. I think attempt 3 at the moment. Is Yuri going to try and give enough space as he possibly can? He does not want to give up that podium at the moment. But all of this is allowing the DRS train to keep growing and growing. DRS detection point is now. Let's see what Carl could do. Carl looking very, very good. Goes to the left-hand side of the track. Heading towards turn 1 now. Is he going to cover to the right a little bit? He does, trying to hit the car perfectly. And Carl is up into 3rd position. Acorn as well is getting a bit of time on Yuri. And so is Brandon too. Brandon having a decent start as well. Mato as well. We got a yellow flag, and that is a pink car of Niels, unfortunately, that's gone for a little bit of a spin in turn 1. So that is his race. Not got off to a very good start as well, but there's still plenty more moments of this race to go and plenty more opportunities for things to go right or for things to go wrong. But anyway, Newgarden and Risky were having a bit of a battle, going side by side in towards turn 10. I think it's turn 10 at least. Yeah, it is. As they head towards now then into turn 11. Risky dropped back a little bit there. It looks like Keb is gaining a bit more on his mediums compared to Risky, but the crossover point is not yet. We're going to keep an eye on that. And we got a yellow flag. And do we have a safety car? Has someone gone off or something? It's hard to tell. Safety car. Ooh, that's weird because I didn't see anyone bin it. It might just been a spin or something. I don't know. But for some people, the safety car has come at the wrong time. But I believe, apart from Kyle, actually no, Kyle did pit. That's fine. So for all the 2-stop runners, they managed to get their first stops done, which is pretty much relief, which means they're going to be on the same strategy, fresher tyres as well, and it makes the strategy wide open for them. And it depends what they do on their tyres as well. So, will the guys in top 6 think about pitting? Because they're going to be way behind everyone else when they decide to pit, especially the ones on the 1-stop. And I think most people are going to be on the 2-stop strategy now. Apart from obviously the top 6. So let's see what... I think you're going to lose time if you come in. So the best option, even though it's not ideal, it would have to be to stay out. But that's what I like about VSL. Even when there's safety cars, anything can happen. So we thought Red Matt was going to come in there. But Pete is not. Neither is Acorn or Brandon. Is Emron or Tony thinking about it? No, everyone else is staying out. I'm intrigued to see why Newgarden's gone for the softs. Because he could have gone onto the hards, but maybe he's run out of the hard compounded tyres, potentially. Mysteries, and we're into the unknowns for him at this stage. We've seen gambles from him before, and it has turned out to pay off for some people. So I wonder if it's going to pay off for him. So I believe the safety car will be in this lap because everybody has caught up to the safety car. Because usually a safety car is being caused by a big crash. So I'm just a bit amused about why the safety car was called out. Hopefully it's not one of those glitches where the safety car gets called out for absolutely no reason at all. But we will see, of course. As we are about to go green flag racing here at Zandvoort once again. And don't forget that the DRS won't be activated until lap 9. So Red Matt holding up the field. A nice helicopter shot. We are seeing full grandstands. Don't forget this game was made before COVID. And quite a lot of Max Verstappen fans. But I hate to say it, Max Verstappen's not here. So there we go. Obviously joking, of course. Anyway, can Red Matt get a decent getaway? Because I know Pete is going to be hungry for more. He's right on the back of Red Matt at the moment. And let's see, Red Matt got on the accelerator pedal very, very quickly. Has forced lots of other people to respond here. We've got quite a few people going side by side, heading into turn 1 already. We've got M1 on the back of this as well. Carl going to try and dive around the right-hand side of Ryan Berry. And I think he does it with ease at the moment. We've got Yuri as well, who's trying to come back through the field. Don't forget the mediums will be at his best a bit later on, and the softs at the front will start to die potentially as well, so keep an eye on that. So let's see what Yuri does. Is he going to go for a send heading in towards turn 8 and 9? Well, that's turn 8, now heading towards turn 9 now. Does he keep that line? Yes, he does. A fantastic move from Yuri. So Yuri up into 8th place at the moment on track, and net P2 I believe. But I believe most of these guys will have to make one stop. And we can see Tony as well going side by side with Kyle. Oh, maybe not much space, but looks like Tony had to give up there. So Kyle moves back up into 6th place. You can tell that the fresh and mediums are definitely helping at the moment. Yuri trying to get past the traffic as well. Tony's got to do a lot of defending. We're not used to his racecraft because I haven't commentated on any leads on him, but he seems to be doing pretty well so far. Not at the back at the moment, which is great to see. And we're already on lap 8. Time just fly by when you're having fun. But all now going up now. Heading up this little stretch here. The dirty areas, I think, really starting to show at the moment. And that's probably what's hindering some drivers. And we're going to watch, I think, for lap 13, where the softs start to die. But I think they're probably going to pit around about lap 11 to avoid the crossover point. And I wonder what Nicky Lauda will be thinking as these drivers are racing around the circuit today. As Newgarden gets past Risky. We got Kev as well. So Risky is stuck in a VSL Red sandwich. And like I said last week, Red really needs to start picking up the pace a bit, because Red is not doing too good in the VSL Championship as a team. So Red trying to score as many points as they possibly can. Now Newgarden, oh! Newgarden was very, very unlucky there, so Risky could sense an opportunity coming. Could he potentially go for a double overtake? Unfortunately, Niels has retired from the session. I can't tell if it's pit lane retirement or is it if he's binned it in the wall. No, he has retired from the pit lane. So he must have had a horrible race so far, which is a bit of a shame. As his car is gone. Or he might have binned actually in the wall of turn 1, but obviously his car is gone, so we won't be able to see it at the moment. So, all the cars still within that train, apart from, I would say, Blue Fox. Blue Fox is having their own DRS train with Newgarden, Risky and Kev. Everybody else on a DRS train together. So what about Yuri then? Can Yuri get past Tony this time? Tony's not going to give up without a fight. This time Yuri sticks to the left. I thought the right would be the best option, but Yuri decided, you know what? Let's go for the unpredictability here. So Yuri's now up into 7th position. And wow, look at Mata there, going side by side out of nowhere. Past Tony on the fresher tyres. You can tell Tony's softs are starting to die, which is to be expected. Can Mata do exactly the same on Yuri? I think it can be possible, you know, as they head towards turn 9 and 10. Mata goes to the inside as Red Matt's out of the session. Red Matt is out of the session. He's binned it in the wall. So did he have a battle with someone, or did he spin it completely by himself? Now, I predicted him to win the race today, so he could blame me for jinxing him like crazy. So, Red Matt, I do apologise. I really do much apologise. But that is one of the race favourites out of the race now. So it's Pete that leads the race, but the top three will still have to make their first stops. Brandon in second, Akon in third, Carl in fourth, M. Ryan in fifth. M. Ryan dropping off a bit compared to the other soft runners. But never say never for M. Ryan. There's been some races where he's really surprised us. And maybe he could fight back on this. Maybe he's going to be going on the one-stop strat. He's probably going to go on to the hards as well. So I think for some of these drivers, they are playing the long-turn game. So no safety car or VSC was brought out due to Matt's retirement. Now I want to hear Matt's thoughts, I think, after this race. Potentially on what happened. Because I didn't see the crash, unfortunately. But meanwhile, here comes Brandon. And I thought Brandon was going to follow Pete into the pits. But he does not. Pete with the undercut. And Brandon's probably thinking, oh, I think I wish I should have pit now. But Brandon is not. So Brandon stays out. Akon stays out as well. And Akon is probably going to regret it. Because this is definitely the crossover point for the medium compounded tyres. So let's see if Carl could take advantage of that. He's got to, because otherwise he's going to have a tricky final stint of the race later on. Getting the better exit of 8, heading through 9 and 10. Could this work? It does work. But he's a little bit too further back to get past him, but maybe the delta could make the difference at the moment as they head towards 11 and 12. And heading towards 13, then the final corner of turn 14. This could be Carl's overtaking opportunity. The lunge for Kyle on Akon, sorry. And Carl gets past him. Pete, however, has gone to the hard, so has Ryan Berry as well. So Pete's come out behind Kev and in front of Blue Fox. So Brandon is opting to stay out. Now Brandon is going for a gamble, which I've seen work only once. I've seen it work like 1% of the time. But 99% of the time, soft to mediums, meh. But like I said, safety cars. And we did have a safety car. So and I'm noticing Brandon's DRS as well, because Brandon has been pushing a lot. And it could compromise him. So if I was Brandon, I would pit now. But I'm guessing he's so committed to going on to the mediums, because when you're on the softs at the beginning of the race on the safety car strap, you are not pushing that much. So you could go on the softs for a bit longer. Akon and M. Ryan stay out, so they're definitely probably going to go on to the mediums. So that pushes Carl to the lead of the race at the moment. So has the undercut worked for Pete? That is going to be my question. Pete comes out into turn 1. It's going to be close, going side by side, headed towards turn 2 and 3. Pete goes to the left. Just edges it, goes Pete. The undercut, OP. But Brandon's going to be on much colder tyres. But at the end of the race, he's definitely going to benefit from his tyres being a lot newer compared to Pete. So watch out for that. Definitely watch out for that. So nobody else has to make one more stop apart from Ahmed, Mata and Kyle. But for some of these other drivers, they will have to make one more stop. Akon's got to make a stop, and so does M. Ryan. So, and Tony too. Don't forget the ones on the 2 stop. If they forget to 2-stop, that they will be disqualified as Carl sets the fastest lap of the race so far. Will that trigger Akon to pit? Yes, it does. Akon comes in. Clean pit stop from him. And Ryan and Tony still stay out though. But they're swamped by people that pitted quite some time ago, so I'm a bit wide for them. So Ahmed, I think, is going to do all he can to get past him. Ahmed is having another good race so far. Benefiting from other people's misfortunes. So we'll see what he does here in turn 8 and into 9 now. Not close enough at the moment. But you can see Ryan going off the track a little bit. Tony with a little bit of a lock-up as well. So yeah, the tyres are definitely dying. Tony goes off the track. Ahmed is up into 4th. So could Ahmed get the 3rd he was looking for? He did get a podium last week due to a very good performance in Austria last week. Austria was a very good race, to be fair. So Ryan stays out again. But Tony pits. And I have to say, I am a big fan of Tony's livery. Tony's livery looks absolutely amazing. Fair play to him. So Tony comes in onto the mediums, and I believe that will be until the end of the race. So we'll find out that strategy pays off for him very, very soon, as we're almost halfway into this Grand Prix. Ahmed just 1/10 behind Ryan now. And I think it's going to be a question of when, to be honest, as they head towards turn 10. With that swooping movement that Ahmed's going to look to do. Yeah, Ahmed getting a very better exit compared to Ryan. But Ryan going very, very defensive there. You can see he's struggling. But I'm sure Ryan has to give in very, very soon as we head towards turn 13 and into 14. He has to. He's got to. As Ryan goes into the pits now. 15 laps on the softs. I'm almost certain, and if I did 15 laps on the softs, I probably would have had a puncture by now. However, these drivers are not giving in. They're doing very, very well. So the difference in strategy could make a difference between winning and losing this race today. Or even actually getting on the podium as well. Now, I forgot actually where we are next week, but next week, don't forget, the top 3 from the last race, they will have to be on the 2-stop strategy for those of you that are new to VSL. And it just makes the strategy wide open, and it gives a lot more people a lot more chances to win some races. So make sure you stick it out until the end of this Grand Prix, because we could be in for a very spicy ending. I'm probably going to predict that, I have to say. So we're pretty much halfway in a lap's time as Newgarden goes into the pit then. The medium tyres. Now, a quick reminder of how long these tyres last. Now, mediums last 18 to 20 laps. So we do know that Newgarden's going to make it, so is Tony and Ryan. But for the likes of Akon, it's going to be a bit of a push. That's probably why some of the people who were on the softs opted to stay out for a bit longer. And that is why the ones who were at the front that stayed on the softs went to go onto the hards, because they know the hards would make it until the end there. But for nobody is obviously going for the aggressive hard to soft strategy, but you never know. Maybe Blue Fox could decide, you know what? Maybe going on to the softs at the end will be the best idea. 26 laps the hards can last in total. You're going to lose 2.3 seconds per lap on the softs compared to the softs. And don't forget the top 12 will be scoring points. It's not like normal Formula 1 where only the top 10 score points. Top 12 score points, and there's an extra fastest lap points, 2 points actually, for the one who scores the fastest lap. And I think that's for any person who gets the fastest lap. So just an incentive to not give up. We've already had 2 retirements so far, all from Team Pink, as we got our first penalty. Quite surprised that the penalty has come now and not earlier on, but it just goes to show that the majority of people are keeping it very, very clean. I'm trying to think where you can actually invalidate your lap around here. I'm just trying to have a look, actually. So, Risky being the first victim of the penalty club. He doesn't want to get any more penalties, so I think he's going to learn where he's exceeded track limits and try not to do it again. Meanwhile, M. Ryan is definitely struggling with Blue Fox and Tony, but meanwhile, Ahmed and Matt are having a bit of a scrap there. I believe it was Matt that got past Ahmed there into turn 2. And I wonder if Matt's height is probably giving him the advantage at the moment. Don't forget Mata and Ahmed will still need to make one more stop, because that is how they finished last week. So for these two, this is all about track position here. So let's see how the ERS is looking. So Ahmed is on 50%. Mata is on 44%. So they're pretty even. So I would say bring it on for these two. And if they keep it up, they could be on for solid points. Don't forget, Mata was the Season 5 champion. And he's looking to retain his championship lead. He's still leading by quite some margin. But can he extend that gap tonight? But with Kyle leading his race as well, it's going to be a tall order. Mata setting the fastest lap at the moment. Here comes Risky. This time on Ahmed. And I'm just seeing about the crossover point a second between the mediums and the softs. No, the mediums and the hard, sorry. 18 laps, so in about 3 laps time. So Kev comes into the pits now. I wonder if that's for damage of any kind. So let me have a look. Let me have a look. So pit stops. No, so that was a strategy call from Kev there. Very, very intriguing. I'm very, very shocked to see that at the moment. But maybe there may be a reason in all this. It doesn't look like the weather's going to change anytime soon. That's probably why he's gone for the hards. 11.2 seconds is the gap. So if he maintains that gap, he could still go out of this in the lead. 16 seconds is the gap from the pit stop. So if he can get that gap up to 16 seconds, then the world's your oyster for Kyle. But that's probably a wrong saying, but there we go. Ahmed on to his final stop. The first people out of the 2 stop runners to make the jump. So he's gone for the undercut then. And he's going to come out in 8th place. And just ahead of Tony. And I think he's going to cut his way through the field, I think, for Acorn, Brandon, Heat, Risky. Loads of people, especially Risky as well. So I think, watch out for Ahmed, as Blue Fox has got a penalty as well. So 2 drivers getting penalties. Not good at the moment, but is Mata now going to challenge the homeboy here at this moment in time? He is a net P2 at the moment due to Yuri's penalties. The track is getting brighter and brighter at the moment. And I think the only overtakes that's happened is for the first few laps and a few laps after the safety car. Really, we haven't seen much overtaking apart from that, which, to be honest, it's a bit of a shame. But you sometimes, unfortunately, get races like that where you do tend to have some unlucky moments. So, Carl's got a bit of think about pitting as well. So does the top three. Yuri has to pit too, even though he doesn't have to. But there's no way those mediums are going to make it until the end of this Grand Prix. So he's gonna have to pit, really. So, are they going to come in soon? No, they're not coming in. Mata's not blinking. I thought they would have responded to Ahmed, but no. Here comes Mata then. To the left-hand side he goes. And Yuri saying no thank you. He's trying to do a see you later, but that did not work. Mata said that second place is mine. Track temperatures are starting to heat up at the moment, and that's probably what's helping Mata. Mata is up into second position. On track as well. Even though he didn't have to do the move, he's very quick. So can he claw the gap to Carl now? That's going to be an important thing before the pit stop. I don't think he's going to. You can tell Mata has been pushing because he's running out of ERS. So, very, very intriguing. What about Yuri's ERS? About the same. Pete's ERS 22. Risky's 22 as well. Brandon 22. Acorn 15. Ahmed 40. So out of the top 8, Ahmed has been managing his ERS, I think, a lot better. So there we go. But anyway, Mata and Yuri come in for their final stops. That makes Mata the second person out of the two stoppers to pit. But this time, both of these drivers go onto the soft tyres. But you're probably thinking, Jess, those softs won't make it. And you're wrong. These softs can make it to the end. And that's the beauty of doing the two-stop strategy. You can do that. So, can they climb their way through the field now? The delta being, well, 1.1 seconds per lap. So anything's possible, but we shall see. So Mata's going to probably find it much easier than Yuri. And Brandon and Risky. Brandon on the fresher tyres, and maybe that's Risky's sign. Right, maybe I need to pit as well. I wonder if Risky is going to go for the softs for the fastest lap, or is he going to try and stick it out until the end of the Grand Prix? He has to pit soon. So the question is when. And will he choose to not pit at all due to the safety car periods that happened? Carl's gone into the pits. And Peter's just got ahead of him. Not by much though. There's also Brandon as well right on the back of this. Now this is going to be an interesting fight for the win. Because we know the softs I think are going to be a lot better. But if Carl pushes too much, it could overheat. So he's got to get past Pete early on. So then he can manage that gap up front. Save his tyres and then make sure he can cruise to victory. And Pete's got to do some massive defending in order to keep that win. So let us know in the chat, guys. Who do you think is going to be winning the race? Is it Pete? Is it Kyle? Maybe Mata and Yuri could be back into this fight as well. You never know. Like I said, anything can happen. And you can see there, Carl going for the lunge now. He doesn't want to wait. He wants to do it now. And Risky's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So he has decided to pit now. But that's probably come back to bite me. He's on the softs anyway. So that 5-second penalty will be added at the end of this race. So I don't think he'll be pitting again. So Carl now's got to manage that gap. He's already going to be within a second of Pete now. So out of DRS, that's going to be the crucial factor. So Carl doing fantastically. What about Brandon? Can Brandon pick up the fight to Pete now? You never know. We could have a late safety car. That could bring everyone else back into this. Maybe some of the car. Pardon me. Sorry. Maybe some of the drivers, if there was a safety car, will they be able to potentially pit? Or will they have the option to stay out? And if someone has gone off, that is Yuri! Yuri's gone off in turn 12 and 13. Well, turn 12 actually. I don't know what happened there. So he has to come in. He has to come in. His strategy's gone completely out the window. So that the drivers who I was predicting was going to do well this race, I've unfortunately jinxed. That's why, Jess, you do not make predictions. Because something like this happens. But there's still quite a bit of this race to go. So, not all is lost for Yuri. He's going to hope for a late safety car. But, unfortunately, I couldn't quite catch what happened there. But anyway, Mata is up into 5th place. His next target of attack is Acorn in 4th position, who's doing a stellar job as well. So 3 different tyre compounds being used for the final part of this race now. Well, the final third now. We're going to be on lap 30 very, very soon. 8 laps to go. Where are we next week, actually? We are in Belgium next week. And I like Belgium. Belgium always brings out some classics, I have to say. So I'm very looking forward to it. But anyway, not much happening at the moment. So we'll see how much Mata gains to Acorn. I always keep saying the same thing twice, so I'm not going to. But will Mata do it? Now, the guys around him do not have any penalties. So, if Mata wants to do it, he's got to get the move done on track. Same with, I would say, Risky as well, who's still back in this. He's got to get the gap to around about 5 seconds in order to mean anything. Actually, 8 seconds, because I believe he got that. Oh, he's got more penalties now. So I'm just trying to say 5. So he got 2 3-second time penalties plus a 5-second. So yes, he's not going to get 6th place, but I still believe he's going to be in the points. So again, not all is lost for him. I thought it was literally just the 5 seconds plus the 3 seconds, but obviously not. So I must have not been looking at the time penalties close enough. But, you know, Acorn running out of airs. I think you can see that Mata is coming. Mata has been saving his ERS until the time is right here. So is it going to be an easy move for Mata, or is Acorn and Mata going to work for it? We'll find out in the next 6 laps. 6 laps to go. So DRS activated. Matt going for the set. Well, it's not really a set. It was just a clean move. So Matt up into 4th position. And I think it's going to be a tough ask for Mata to find 6.3 seconds on Brandon. But we know that the tyres, for the hard tyres especially, are definitely going to be at past SL by date very, very soon. In terms of optimum. Oh, we're talking about optimum pace, not lifespan, but optimum pace. But the hards can last 26 laps, so last the whole race. But you never know with this game. It can heat up very, very quickly if the driver gets sent into an absolute spin, which we hope does not happen. So the gap now between Mata and Brandon's around about 6 seconds, sorry, not 6 tenths. 5.8 now, so the gap is dropping a little bit. Not much battling happening at the moment, apart from, I would say, between Newgarden and Tony. Let's see what Newgarden could do here on this back straight. I think it looks like he's got a better straight line speed here as well. It looked like one of them was late on the brakes there. I wonder how both of these drivers are going to approach this corner. We got Newgarden being very, very committed. Obviously, these guys will still be getting points. Tony will be getting points on debut, which I've got to say, it's good going for the guy who wants to score points for Team Green. I think Team Green will be very, very happy that Tony picked Team Green to spend the rest of this time with. But you can see, I think the gap's just stable at the moment. So I think all it's going to take is for any of these drivers to make a mistake. So here comes Newgarden. Oh! I think Newgarden was very, very unlucky there. But there was no damage. So I think, I'm not a steward here, but first glances, it looks like a racing incident, but it will be up to the stewards to decide. Obviously. On lap 34 now, Carl comes across the line for the third to last time. You could just cruise to victory at the moment. But Carl cannot make any mistakes. Neither could Pete or Brandon. And I think we are starting to see a lot of contenders for this championship now really starting to come into fruition. But I wondered the people below them will be like, you know what, I can still come back from this. There's still, after this one, 8 more rounds to go. We got Belgium next week. Then we got Italy for round 10. Singapore for round 11. Monaco round 12. Canada round 13. Australia round 14. Bahrain round 15. And then Bahrain short on June the 2nd. So still opportunities for things to go right. And still opportunities for things to go wrong. So we're looking at Newgarden on Tony. I think due to that spin Newgarden had, I think there's not going to be much battling now. So positions are going to potentially stay as they are now, but when it comes to penalties, I think obviously Risky will drop down, and that'll be potentially it. I think he'll drop down to, let me have a look. So he'll drop down to, he only dropped down I think 1 or 2 positions, so it could be worse for Risky, to be fair. And we're looking at people that's gained quite a bit this race. So Carl's gained 3 positions, Brandon's gained 3, Matta's gained 4, Risky's gained 8. Tony's gained 2. Newgarden has gained 4. Ryan has gained 5. And we got big losers as well. Kev dropped down 2 places. Yuri dropped down 10. Very unlucky from him. And Blue Fox has dropped down 3. Obviously, Red Matt and Niels retiring earlier on in the race. And you can see, Newgarden, I think, mindset. It looks like he's given up. He's gone into the gravel. He's been lapped, I think, as well, hasn't he? No, he's not. But he's going to be in danger of losing out on some very big points, which is a bit of a shame. But sometimes it just goes to show that consistency is key, as George Russell would like to say. But we are heading on towards the final lap. At the moment, I do believe Blue Fox has been lapped. I think the only driver to be lapped. But let's not concentrate on him. Let's concentrate on this guy who has been faultless from start to finish. Timed it right with the stops to go onto the mediums. He was one of the first few people to blink. Got the moves done when he needed to. Came out of nowhere. He won in Austria last week. Could this be the sign of things to come? Could we see this guy on a winning streak? Only time will tell. He won in Austria and he's won it in Zandvoort. He's won 2 races in a row. Fantastic drive for him. Carl wins. Pete comes across the line in second. He'll still be pretty chuffed with that, I have to say. Brandon in third. Matter in 4th place. Acorn will come across the line in 5th. A quiet race enters the race from him, but still some good points. Risky will drop down to 8, I believe. 8th. So Ahmed will come across the line in 6th, I believe. And I think Risky will be 7th, I believe. Let's see. Yes. So Risky's only dropped down 1 position. So not bad. So anyway, I'm waiting for Ryan to come across the line. He comes across the line in 10th with Kevin 9th due to penalties. Ryan Berry in 11th. Newgarden 12th. And we're just waiting for Yuri to come across the line. Unfortunately, his home race did not go very well after that spin. So there we go. That was Zandvoort. And what does the game give us driver of the day? It gives it to Risky. To be fair, quite a few candidates for driver of the day, but I'll let you guys decide in a poll later. But we will see. Carl doing very well for Team Blue as well. Team Blue are going to be delighted as they close the gap up to Team Yellow. 3 teams on the podium. We've got Team Pink as well and Yellow joining Team Blue too. So, great to see that. So we'll go through your results then. So, your standings. Carl wins from Pete. Brandon in 3rd. Matter in 4th. Acorn 5th. Ahmed in 6th. Risky in 7th. Tony in 8th. Kevin 9th. And M. Ryan in 10th. Then we got Ryan Berry, Newgarden, Yuri, and Blue Fox rounding up your finishes and your retirements. Only 2 retirements of the race were Red Matt and Niels. So that has been the Dutch Grand Prix. We hope you enjoyed every single minute of it. We will let you enjoy the rest of your evening. I've been Jess Games 95. We will see you same time, same place at 8 PM UK time for the Belgian Grand Prix. And I have to say, the 2-stop could make things a hell of a lot more exciting. But I think safety cars here and there as well next week. But it's an easy 1-stop at Belgium, softer mediums. So the 2 stops are going to find it tricky, but you never know what could happen like we've seen this week. So, have a good evening, everybody. We will see you soon. And goodbye, everybody. See you next week.